This is Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. With a panoramic view of the Frankfurt Airport in the Lufthansa First Class Lounge, please welcome ET Now's Shirley Chopra.
Hello and welcome to Pioneering Spirit, a product of Lufthansa. Here every week I bring you face to face with a pioneer who's created a new benchmark in their field of business. And that's why today we bring this show as a part of a series that's a tribute to the undying spirit of entrepreneurship, which is where, when pioneers of today select the pioneers of tomorrow. My guest today in the Lufthansa First Class Lounge is someone who wears many hats. The economics graduate from Stanford, he is also a trained pianist. And while managing the compensation group at Oracle Corporation, he made history by becoming the youngest manager in the company's finance division. But he actually chose to leave the riches of the Silicon Valley all behind in the US to start a fresh venture back home. Defying the odds, he has changed the face of Nashik city, which is now considered India's wine capital. Please join me in raising a toast to Rajeev Samant, CEO of Sula Wine.
Watch the stars grow.
Welcome, Rajeev.
Thanks, Shelley.
Good to have you.
As the sunshine
Have a
slips
seat.
away.
So we love raising a toast to you, but many don't know that there's a huge story behind all of this, these good times. Saying cheers hasn't been that easy.
No, absolutely not. I mean, any entrepreneur's journey is not really that easy. And when you decide to be a pioneer and go out into an area and a field that very few people have done before, there's always going to be lots of thorns that you have to clear along the way. But it's been a fabulous journey.
How's it been to leave Silicon Valley and get into the Nashik Valley with a whole array of wine plans?
It was very difficult at first to change the local mindset, to accept me, somebody who would come foreign returned, as they called me, you know, imposing all sorts of new ideas or experimenting with new ideas. It was difficult for the government also. For 15 years, not a single winery license, thank you, had been given in India. We were the first winery to start up in 15 years.
How did you convince them to do that?
Basically, you just said that this is something that could really boost rural employment, rural wealth, and it's a very farmer-friendly industry. So I think these arguments really swayed the day.
Before you actually started producing wine, you did experiment a little bit with mangoes, rose, teak wood. What were these experiments all about?
It's true, I first started to be a farmer. Basically, I wanted to live part of my life in the city and part in the country, and I wanted to make it pay for itself. So I first grew Alfonso mangoes, I tried roses, I tried tomatoes, teak wood. I quickly found out that traditional agriculture does not pay in India, so you needed to be a pioneer in something, to bring something or to do something that nobody had done before. I was looking around in Nashik, I realized there's all these grapes growing there, but nobody is making wine. I just had this idea that India was going to start drinking wine in a big way.
And how did you decide that, you know, while Nashik was sort of the grape growing region, where did you think you would get the expertise from? Because, you know, you can't find it locally, and it's not like India by that time was very familiar with sommeliers or something, or somebody who actually has the agriculture side of the technical knowledge around wine. So where did you get that, that partnership, that technology?
So it's a great question. Basically, what we do have in India is a lot of biotechnologists, microbiologists, chemical engineers, food technologists, and that's the kind of team that I put together.
Okay.
But then we needed somebody to actually tell us what wine is. So I went back to California, met a great guy called Kerry Damsky, really well-known winemaker in Napa, and Kerry agreed to be my mentor. Then I worked in his winery for 3 months doing menial tasks, you know, crushing grapes, moving stuff from here to there, really understanding how the nuts and bolts worked out. Came back here, and Kerry helped us, still on our board.
How did the name Sula come about?
It's my mother's name. My mother's name is Sulabha, and you know, it was so difficult to think of a name. I wanted something to be kind of Indian, but at the same time global and easy to pronounce. And so then it just came out one day that, hey, why not Sula?
At what stage did you think that this is not going to work?
Oh wow, I had many nightmares. I had many nights when I just wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh my God, what am I doing? What have I done? Did I do the right thing in coming back? You know, how is this going to work? So during an entrepreneur's journey for the first couple of years, things are always touch and go. But it was about 5 years ago that I finally woke up and said, you know what, I think I can take the day off today. So I would say that that was the moment when I suddenly realized that, okay, things are good.
And they can run on autopilot at least for a little
short
while.
amounts of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But when do you see India actually, holding ground in terms of being a brand of choice? When people say, can I have a Chilean wine? They know they want Chilean. When do you think will India have that moment? Can I have an Indian wine?
Well, I think in India, that moment has already arrived.
Okay.
Abroad, it's going to take its time. Remember that we have just about 10 to 12 years of tradition of winemaking now in this country.
Yes.
But I must say that today the reaction to our wines in a market like the UK is completely different than just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
People are interested, people are excited to taste the wine. 5 years ago, people would turn their noses up. So there's already been a big leap.
That's interesting. Okay, there's more to Rajeev's journey that we'll talk about. But even more interesting is going to be the time, which is in just a few minutes, when we get 3 entrepreneurs on board here on the show. And each one of them, with their business plan, will try and see if they can get some confidence and guidance from Rajeev Samant here. Thanks. Come, let's go over to the other side.